Repeat my history, crack cocaine is like the motif. It's plain and simple, way back then my mother hustled. It's in my blood, so I feel like it's time to grind, just like the times when niggas lied. Hold up, back then was the bad days, motherfuckers push mad weight. I was a crack baby, tell me nothing about my mother and the struggle. See, I love it and it's fucking trying to smoke when she hustle. Selling everything in the house, goddamn. She ain't give a damn about her spouse, goddamn. So my oldest brother had to man up, had to take care of us in the piece with 4 kids. I'm on the way with no clip, no food in the fridge, on some post shit. Got food stamps from the neighbors. Top work, ain't ask no favors. Late night, he was shot bodegas. Over bread and some meat, some mayo. Kool-Aid had about 4 flavors. And when time went to cash out, Aki lashed out. Told me he'd take food stamps. $15 for that kid, fuck all that shit. Then the young nigga noticed that he could be the coldest. Take back what they owed us. Whole world on the shoulders. No food in the kitchen but the stove work. $10 in the sack and he points to the back, say, "Aight, let me get that soda." 99 cents. It's hard to repent when you gotta pay rent. Baking soda's only 99 cents. Make it make sense, Lord, make it make sense. Baking soda's only 99 cents. It's hard to repent when you gotta pay rent. Baking soda's only 99 cents. Make it make sense, Lord, make it make sense. Yeah.
So let me get this shit straight. So I gotta go take out loans to go to school, to get a job, just to pay for the loans I took out in the first place? I'm looking at this arm and hammer like I should have a hammer in my arm right goddamn now. Shit ain't make no sense. Lord, make it make sense. Goddamn.
Baking soda's only 99 cents. Hey, it's hard to repent when you gotta pay rent. Baking soda's only 99 cents. Make it make sense, make it make sense. Baking soda's only 99 cents. Hard to repent when you gotta pay rent. Baking soda's only 99 cents. Make it make sense, make it make sense.
Brother means to Israel. Imagine, Wapanya, Akodam, which means friend and perfect peace. The Lord's Prayer, first in Hebrew, then in English. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwathka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayam, Nathan Lanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawabwath Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawabwath Yanawa, Wala'a, Tabaya Anawa, Tabaya Anawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Waha'ala, Wahatapa Arath, La'aiwalam, it's like it, La'aiwalamyam, Aman, now in English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory. So be it. Prayer for power, first in Hebrew, then in English. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Babakwashah, Nathan Lanawa, Haka, Haka, Larapa'ah. Salaki. Kal Makala, Wakal Marawa, Haka, Latahar, Ha Matazarium, Haka, Lahakwayam, Hamathium, Haka, Al Rakawath, Hatama'ala, Lagar Shan, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Dawada, Aman, in English. Lord, in the name of Jesus, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In Jesus' name, thank you. So be it. All right. Bless Israel, first in Hebrew, then in English. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Barak Lanawa, Wayasharala, Wahab Bayat Saparium, Barak, Rapa'ah, Magun, Hagun, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Tawada, Aman. All right. In English. Lord, in the name of Jesus, please, it's like it, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect. In the name of Jesus, thank you. So be it. I'll read the 83rd Psalms. Alahayim. Al Damayat Laka. Al Takarash. Wa Al Tashakwat. Al Kayahana. Awayabyaka. Yahamayawan. Ra'ash. Al Amaka. ya ira yamwa. Sawada. Wayata ya aitazawa. Al taza. Al taza pa wana. Al taza pa wanyaka. Al marwa. Lakawa. Wanakak yadam. Magaya. Wala a yazakar. Sham yasharala. Iwada. Kaya. Na wa aitazawa. Laba. Yakadwa. Al yaka. Mariath. Yakarathwa. Ahaliab. Adawam. Wa Yashemai alayam. Mawa'aba. Wahagariam. Gabal. Wa Imawan. Wa Imalak. Palashath. I'm Yeshabia. Tazawar. Gam Ashawar. Nalawa. Imam. Hayawa. Zarawai. Labanya Lawat. Salah. Aisha Laham. Kamadian. Kasaya Sara'a. Kayabian. Banakal. Hoyash 1. Nashamadwa. Ba'ayan Da'ara. Hayawa. Daman. La Adama. Sayathamwa. Nada Yab Mawa. Ka'irab. Wakaza Abba. Wakazabak. Wakatazal Mana'ai. Ka'a Nasa Yakamwa. Ashar, Imarwa, Nayarasha, Lanau, Af, Naawath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagalgala, Kakwash, Lapanya Rawaka, Ka'ash, Daba'ira Ya'ira, Wa Kalahaba, Talahat, Harayam, Khan, Tharadatma, Basairika, Wabasa Wapathka, Tabahalam, Mala'ah, Panyaham, Kualawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya Bahalwa, Aid Ya'id, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Da'aiwa, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahweh, Labadka, Al Yawan, Al Kaha Arataza. All right, now in English. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. They that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. It's lucky. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistine with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur has also joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeb. Yea, all their princes as Zabah, and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession, Oh my God, make them like the wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth on the mountains of fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, so that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art most high over all the earth. All right, check. Let me make sure I can be heard. Okay, we too out. All right. So today for Sabbath class, we're actually going to be in the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 1. All right, this is a story of how when our forefather Joshua in the English, Yahushua in the Hebrew, how he transitioned into power into the his role as a leader after Moses passed away in the wilderness before we got into our land. All right. Wayahaya, Akarya, Mawath, Masha, Ibad, Yahweh, Waya Amar, Yahweh, Ah, Yahweh Shai, Ban, Nawan, Masharath, Masha, La Amar, Masha, Ibadia, Moth, Wa'atha, Kawam, Ibar, Ah, Hayardan, Hazah, Atha, Wakal, Ha'ain, Hazah, Al. Ha'arataza. Ashar. Anakia. Nathan. Laham. Labanya. Yasharal. Kal. Makwawam. Ashar. Tadarak. Kap. Ragal Kum. Bal Lakam. Natataya. Ka'ashar. Dabarthaya. Al. Masha. Maha Madabar. Wahalabat Labayawan. It's like Laha like La Wahalabawa Labanwa. It's like Hazah. Wa Wa'id. Hanahar. Hagadawal. Nahar. Parath. Kal. Arataza. Ha Hakathium. Wa'id. Hayam. Hagadawal. Mabawa'a. Hashamash. Yahaya. Gabawalkam. La'a. Yatayatazab. Ayash. Lapanyak. Call. Yamya. Kayayak. Ka'ashar. Hayayathya. Aim. Masha. Ahaya. Aimak. La'a. Arapak. Wala'a. Izabka. Kazak. Amataza. Kaya. Atha. Thanakula. Ath. Ha'aim. Hazar. Ath. Ha'arataza. Ashar. Nashabai Thaya. La Abawatham. La Thatha Laham. Rock. Kazak. Wa Amataza. Ma'ad. La Shamar. La Aishawath. Kakal. Hathawarath. Ashamar. It's like an Ashar. Tazawak. Masha. Ibadia. Al. Tasawar. Mamanwa. Yumyan. Washama wa Allah. Lama Ain. Dasha Kayal. Bakal. Ashar. The lot. All right. And we'll go over those first 7 verses in English. All right. Now, after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spoke unto Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' minister, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now, therefore, arise and go over this Jordan, thou and all thy people, unto the land which I give to them, even to the children of Israel. So basically, Moses, led the people from Egypt all the way right up to the borders of what would later be known as Israel, right? But Moses wasn't allowed to enter into it because he, instead of speaking to the rock as the Most High said, he struck the rock with his staff to get water, right? So he wasn't allowed in. There was only 2 people that actually made it from Egypt, made the entire trip from Egypt into the land of Israel, and that's Joshua, the man we're reading about, Yahushua in Hebrew, and I believe it was Caleb, right? And so since he had been the most loyal, he had been the most faithful, he made the entire trek, and the Most High saw fit for him to make it from Egypt, into Israel. He was made, the head of the nation. He followed in Moses' footsteps as the head man in the nation and the prophet of the Most High, right? And he said, all right, so since, and the Most High was saying, since, Moses is dead, you know what I mean, and he got, he got his punishment for what he did and not listening to the voice of the Most High, right? So now Moses is dead. Cool. It's time for the children of Israel to go ahead and enter the kingdom, right? To get to the land that I promised to give to their forefathers, right? All right, let's keep going. Verse 3. Every place that the sole of your foot tread upon, that I have given it unto you, as I said unto Moses. Right. So everywhere that, we were
We were walking everywhere that our feet were stepping on. You know what I mean? That was our land. That was promised to us, right? So basically, wherever we was going, that was the Most High telling us that that was what we owned, right? If we went there, that was the reason we went there, was because that was our land. Specifically in this case, you know, it's talking about Joshua, and that power and that authority was transferred down from Moses, right? Because again, like I said, Joshua was the most loyal. Joshua, he like when all of Israel, including Aaron, you know what I mean, were down there with the golden calf. You know, Joshua was holding post, right? Joshua was on his job. Joshua thought that it was a war going on when they were down there with that golden calf. He had no clue, right? So he wasn't even a part of that, right? So that's why Joshua was seen worthy, you know what I mean, to carry out the position, right? Carry out the office, right? There were people who, like Aaron and Miriam, they outranked Joshua, right? They were over him, right? Because they were the prophets. You know, he was he was more so just of a servant, right? But because of his loyalty, because of his faithfulness, and because you know he did what the Most High said, you know, he was elevated in those positions, into that position, right? Because he followed the will of the Most High, even when, you know, everybody else in the nation turned against the Most High. All right. So that's where he got that power and authority from, right? Let's keep reading. Verse 4. From the wilderness and this Lebanon, even into the great river, the river Euphrates, and all the land of the Hittites, and unto the great sea, toward the going down of the sun, shall be your coast. Right. So basically, this is just, you know, the Most High allowing him to understand, you know, what the boundaries and what the borders of Israel would be. Right. Verse 5. There should not be a man able to stand before thee all the days of thy life, as I did with Moses. So I will be with thee. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Be strong and of good courage. For unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land, for which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Right. So he's telling, you know, Joshua, you know, yeah, this is a heavy undertaking, right? This is not just a light matter, you know, running the nation, right? It's not just you can't just by that time, you know, it ain't too much trial and error, right? You ain't got too much wiggle room to mess up when you are the head of the nation, right? So it's a heavy burden, right? And the Most High is just simply reassuring him, like, look, I know you understand the authority, the weight that your office carry, but I'm not, like, I'll be with you with your decisions, right? Just like I was with Moses, right? Because again, that's a lot to have on your shoulders, right? Like, I could, like, and in this modern day, you know what I mean, I couldn't imagine the weight Commander General Yohana has on his shoulders every single day, right? And for Joshua, you know what I mean, this was what was taking place when that power was transferred to him, right? It's not just, you know, about being able to tell people to do or whatever. It's a weight. It's a pressure. It's right now the nation is on your back, right? What you do carries an effect throughout every person in this nation, right? And that's something heavy to handle. All right. That's why he was telling him, you know what I mean, be strong and of good courage, because it's a frightful thing to have to shoulder the weight of all Israel. All right. All right, verse 7. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. So he's telling them, like, look, you know, you gotta have courage. You gotta have confidence. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a coward. Right now, you can't lead if you're a coward, right? You have to step up where men before you have proven that they couldn't, right? You have to do what, you know, most of Israel couldn't do, right? Like, because to be, you know, being completely honest and everything, you know, when he being only one of two men to come out of Egypt and make it to Israel, right? It's a lot of people that had to drop their sword. It's a lot of people that had to, you know, fall away from the Most High and not do what the Most High was commanded of all of Israel to do, right? So he had to be strong. He had to have courage to do it, because obviously Israel was rebellious against the Most High from the beginning, and we still rebellious against the Most High, right? It still takes, you know what I mean, unfathomable courage and strength to be able to lead this nation. All right. All right, continuing on. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper, whithersoever thou goest. Right? So he's saying that don't deviate from the law, right? And we were having that discussion when I think it was on a DMG, and they were asking about, you know, the fake Israelite groups or whatever. And, you know, this was the point, you know, that I had to make on there that day. We can look at the doctrine, right? We can look at what was being taught in 1969. We can look at what is being taught today, right? We can see that these men who started all these other fake Israelite groups, they have deviated. They have changed the doctrine somehow. There's something new or something different that they had to add or that they discovered, right? Since 1969, the ISUPK has been teaching the same exact doctrine, right? This is not the doctrine of Commander General Yohana. This is the doctrine Commander General Yohana teaches because it's the truth. It's the doctrine that he was taught. So that is what he teaches. He didn't come in here and make up his own doctrine, right? He didn't come up here and make up his own interpolation and interpretation of the scriptures. He took what was taught and what was passed down from prophets before him, right? And he kept teaching the same thing. He kept living righteously as those men taught him how to do, right? And that is how you can trace the true lineage of this truth, right? It's from the doctrine, not from like I said, somebody signing a piece of paper. That ain't got nothing to do with what the doctrine of the Bible is, what the truth is, right? All right. You going back? Let's go back into the Hebrew, verse 8. La'ah, Yamawash, Sapar, Hatha, Wara, Hazah, Mapayak, Hagayath. It's like it. Wah Hagayath. Bawa. Yawamam. Halayala. It's like it. Wa Layala. La'ama ayn. It's like it. Lama ayn. The shamar. La Ashawath. Kakal. Hakatawab. Bawa. Kaya. Azah. Datazal Yak. Ath. Darakak. Wa Azah. The Shakyallah. Halawa'a. Tazal Wayathyak. Kazak. Wa Amataza. All. The Irataza. Wa all. The Kath. Kaya. Imak. Yahweh. Alahayak. Bakal. Ashar. Thalak. Wayatazawa. Yahweh Shai. Ath. Shataya. Ha'ain. Wa Amar. Abarwa. Bakwarab. Bakwarab. Hamakana. Watazawa. Ath. Ha'aim. La'amar. Hakayan wa. Lakam. Taza yadha. Kaya. Ba'awad. Shalashth. Yum. It's like yum yum. A thumb. Ibarium. Oth. Hayaradan. Huzzah. Labaya'a. Larashath. Oth. Ha'arataza. Ashar. Yahweh. Allahayakam. Nathan. Lakam. Larashata. Waban. Ya. Walagadia. Walakatazaya. Shabbat. Ha Manasha. Amar. Yahushai. La Amar. Zakawar. Oth. Hadabar. Ashar. Tazawa. Atkam. Masha. Ibad. Yahweh. La Amar. Yahweh. Allahayakam. Manayak Lakam Wanathian Lakam Ath Ha'arataza Haza'ath Nashayakam Tapakam Wamakwanyakam Yashabah Ba'arataza Ashar Nathan Lakam Mashah Ba'abar Hayardan Wa'atham Ta'aibarwa Kamashim Lapanya Akayakam Kala. It's like it called. Gabawaria Hakayala Wa'azar Thumb our thumb. All right. Go over this in the English. The book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night. So the first instructions that the Most High gave him after he told him, that, of his new power, of his new authority, of his new position, is that, that this book, right, the laws of this book shall never depart out of your mouth, right? This is how, whenever you speak, that's all you speak is the law, right? Whenever you sitting and contemplating and thinking and having deep thoughts, what you should be meditating on and what you should be concentrating on and thinking on is the law, right? Keep going. That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein, right? Because as as the head man in this nation, right? Like you can't be off, right? Like you have to be on. You have to be doing what the Most High has, the work of the Most High 24/7. Right? You don't get no off time. You don't get no off days. All right. This is who you are. Right. This is what you do. This is everything. So this needs to be your thoughts. This needs to be every word you say. Right. And it needs to be that way. So then see, okay, so basically what it is especially, when you coming into that position and everything like that, you know what I mean? You might have had time before for other things, right? But now that time is over with, right? And I just that time is over with. You need to understand what you transitioning into, right? This is 24/7, right? And every thought and every decision that this man has to make is he has to make it, solely putting the law first, right? Putting the orders of the Most High first, right? Because he is the head man in this nation, right? And again, right now it's Commander General Yohana, and in this time it was Joshua because he was taking over from Moses. All right, let's keep going. For then thou shalt make thy ways prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Verse 9. Have I not commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage, and be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. See, the Most High had to keep repeating to him, right, that this is going to take courage, and this is a fearful task you have ahead of you, right? The Most High is admonishing them, that look, just have the faith, just do what you're supposed to do. I know it seems daunting, but just be of good courage. Keep this faith, right? Keep hold on to what you was taught, right? Don't let go for nobody. Follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, right? And again, this is a very, like I said, daunting thing, right? And again, every officer, every trooper, every captain, it's like every general, right? From the bottom to the top, right? We all get a little bit of this, right? The head man, the commander general, he get it all, right? And then the lessons as it goes down in the ranks. But these are things that we built, that we as as officers, started building as young men, and then we built upon more as troopers, right? And then we get to officer, and then the officers above us build on even further, right? Then the captains, then the generals. The further it goes up, the more they build. But what it is our people can be a vicious people, right? It takes courage. It takes a certain type of person to be able to do this work, right? It takes a person with a certain type of mentality to be able to do this work, and you can't be afraid, right? You can't be weak. Not leading the people, not leading the nation of Israel. You cannot be weak, right? So, like I said, from these lower ranks, we building our strength, right? We building our courage, right? But right here, Joshua is being told, listen, you're going to have all of the courage. You're going to have all of the strength. You know what I'm saying? The Most High do keep repeating it, right? Look, just be strong. Let me see. Like the first, let's see, in the last 4 verses, right? It was repeated 3 separate times. Listen, be strong and have good courage, right? Now, mind you, right? He been in these battles with Moses, right? He been in the trenches with Moses. This isn't his first rodeo. He didn't just get slapped in the leadership, right? He proved himself by following the Lord, by following the commandments. So when he gets to this point, he's got that experience under his belt. It's still the Most High has to tell him, listen, be strong. No, you gonna have to be strong. I mean, really, be strong like 3 times in 4 verses, right? That is quick succession, right? Because these people he's about to be in command of, these people he's about to be the top man of, they are a frightful people. Continuing on. Be not afraid, neither thou be neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee. What whithersoever thou goest. Then Joshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, pass through the host, and command the people, saying, prepare your victuals. For within 3 days ye shall pass over this Jordan to go to the land to possess it. So it's like to go into the land to possess the land, which the Lord your God giveth to you to possess it. Right? So he's about to he's telling him, to prepare, get everything ready, get all your food, everything that you're gonna need for battle. Get that ready, because in 3 days we crossing Jordan, right? We going into the land that the Most High is giving us, right? We doing that now, so you gotta. Moses, a lot of people don't really understand that Moses wasn't just a prophet. Moses wasn't just like a dude just walking in the wilderness with like nothing. No, he established the military. First off, he was trained in the military in Egypt. Being that close to the Pharaoh, you had to be able to guard him, right? You had to be trained, right? And then going and dealing with his father-in-law, the Midianite, who was trained by Abraham, right? He too was skilled in the art of war, right? So they're going through the wilderness, and they're constantly waging war, right? The armies of Israel are marching and marching and marching, and Joshua, he was a commander, right? So he understood how, there's a statement, an army marches on its stomach, right? Like you can have one of the biggest military in the world. If they don't have the proper food, they morale drops, like everything falls, right? So he says, the word the victuals, it means provisions or food, right? So basically it's talking about your provisions for war, right? So he's saying get all your provisions together, and in 3 days we about to go over. Make sure you got all the food together, all the stuff you're gonna need, and then we going over the river, right? All right, let's keep going. And to the Reubenites, and to the Gadites, and to the half tribe of Manasseh, spake Joshua, saying, remember the word of Moses, which Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded you, saying, the Lord your God hath given you rest, and hath given you this land. Right? So when we crossed over, right, the land was already divided up. We already knew pretty much where we were going to be settling when we got over there by the tribes, right? So Reuben, Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh, the first lands we were taking over were going to be theirs, right? That was when we entered in, their land was the first land up, right? All right. So that's what he's talking about with, For Moses, it's like for Moses, that's Moses was giving them rest. Like this is their land, this is their home, this is their rest, right? Because like in America, we not in our rest, right? Our rest is our homeland, in our land, right? So that's what they talking about. You just got out of captivity, now you in your land, right? Verse 14: Your wives, your little one, and your cattle shall remain in the land which Moses gave you on this side of Jordan. But ye shall pass before your brethren, armed, all the mighty men of valor, and help them. So just because you got your land, right, and your three tribes, have arrived where they going, right? That don't mean that we gonna diminish our military size, our military force, because you done got your land. Now you go sit back and rest and let the other tribes still go to war and wage war for their land. Nah, that's not how it works, right? Your women, your children, your elderly, your livestock, all of that stays in your land, right? Your women ain't got to travel no more. The Ephraimite women, they still traveling. Judite women still traveling. Levite women still traveling, right? But your women can rest. But you able-bodied men, you warriors, no, don't, y'all not putting down your sword just because y'all got y'all home. No, y'all coming to fight with the rest of your brothers, right? And this is a mentality, you know what I mean, our people have been stripped of, right? To where we all for the help until we find, our rest, right? Until we find the part where we try to get to our stop, right? We all talking about pitching in and helping everybody until you done got your help and you don't see no benefit from it no more. So now you go sit back and relax, and when it's time for your brothers to need you, oh, you sitting at home, right? Like that wasn't allowed. That was no. You came with your brothers. You came in a battle with your brothers, right? You didn't leave your brother sitting out there by himself. Verse 15. Until the Lord have given your brethren rest, as he hath given you, and they also have possessed the land. Then ye shall return unto your land of your possession and enjoy it, which Moses, the Lord's servant, gave you on this side of Jordan towards the sun rising, right? So basically it was just going over that, like the entire army marches until every tribe has their land, right? We all stay in this fight together until every man has a rest. We don't just again, like I said, we don't just leave our brothers to still be out there fighting their battles by themselves. We fight the battles with our brothers, right? And with that, I see we at about the time. All right, shalom, Israel.